Uh, yeah. Yesterday, in my WhatsApp group, which was, I think, for the bodybuilding steroid supplement fitness group, we have a health group like. So people share lots of questions, statements, articles, videos. So in that, one young man in his 20s, he was stating, sharing his views, and in that he said, I deadlift 200 kilos. Now, for those of you who do not know, you can search what is a deadlift. Deadlift is nothing but a weight is kept down on the floor. You just sit down. There's a technique for that. You sit down, you hold it, and you stand up. Okay? Sounds very simple, but it's one of the most dangerous exercises if not done properly, but one of the most effective if done properly. And I loved the deadlift because it was nothing but a test of pure power. You can search deadlift and the world record for deadlift. I think in the strongman competition, the world record is held by Bjornsson of Game of Thrones and Eddie Hall, two of my favorite strongmen. So you'll see these guys really big and really fat, but I'll tell you, their body weight is 200 kilos. These big strong men, 200 kilos in body weight. And to be as strong as that, obviously you have to take steroids, but you have to eat like 8 to 10 times a day. You have to eat, and it's not like fun eating. It's like 30 or 60 eggs and 2 or 3 full chicken and big steaks, and after some time it's no longer fun. It's like you have to stuff your face and eat and sleep and do exercise and then shitting, and it is not at all a fun thing. And while walking, if you are a big guy, you literally, like, you walk and then you're huffing and puffing because your heart is busy pumping blood to all the areas of your body. The human body is not designed to be so big, so muscular. It is not designed. Remember, the more bigger your body is, the more your organs have to work to pump blood and to function, to make the whole body function. Hey doggy, you had your vaccine. You're not supposed to come. Go home. You're not supposed to follow me today. He got his vaccine yesterday. So anyway, wants to follow, let him follow. Okay, so, and for a strongman competition, you have to dedicate your whole life. Like for bodybuilding or any sport, you have to dedicate your whole life. Supplements, steroids, doctor visit, massage, fitness, trainer, coach, technique. There are so many things. Yeah, you have to literally journal every day. What do you do? So anyway, so in this group of mine, this guy said he does 200 kilos deadlift. Now, for those of you who do not know, 200 kilos is not a joke, and very few Indians, can actually do that. In fact, the reason why Indians specifically can't do it is because Indians don't like training their legs. That's why you can search this actor. His name is Hrithik Roshan. Or you check most of the Indian actors, you'll see them having a big chest, big arms, big back, big shoulders, but they have toothpick legs. It's called toothpick legs. Hrithik Roshan is very famous for that. He shows his upper body, beautifully chiseled. His lower body, he'll never show it. Never. He'll never show his legs. His legs are like toothpick. Even all the other actors, the reason being is it's easier to train the upper body and show big arms. It's very tough to train the legs. So I was doubtful whether this guy could do 200 kilos because a lot of people like to brag. So I said, show me the video. to prove that you can do 200 kilos in the right technique. And lo and behold, he shared a video of him doing 200 kilos, and I was impressed. Okay, but I was not impressed, and I'll tell you why. Okay, impressed because the highest I've deadlifted was 185. Okay, this guy's done 200 kilos. It is an incredible feat. If you can lift from the ground that kind of weight, man, your lower back, to deadlift, your lower back, your hips, your glutes, that is your bum, your legs, your quads, your hamstrings, your knees, your shoulders, your chest, your core, abs, every muscle in your body has to act like a single function to lift that weight. And if you don't do it properly, you can develop slip disc, lower back issues. Your knees, you have a kneecap, right? It can just pop out. I mean, you can Google search this, check out ACL and MCL injuries. It's a very thin ligament that connects your joints, especially your knees, most sensitive area. It can break, and if it breaks or damages, most of the fighters have that. You're talking of 1 to 2 years being unable to walk. It's a very complex operation. I want you to Google search it. Very complex, where they have to take cartilage and ligament from other parts of your body. You have to put it together, and you have to relearn how to walk for the next 1 year or so. And there's a possibility it can get damaged again. The operation is so complex that maybe the body will reject that operation. And once you get that ACL or MCL injury, you'll forever get it. You can just walk the wrong way, or put your leg the wrong way, or just stand the wrong way. It will break again. And then it's like you're below the knee and above the knee, the joint which is there, it will not hold. And then there are other complications of doing, deadlifts, like your hips. Most of the people who do heavy deadlifts and squats have to undergo a hip surgery. Most of the wrestlers, they undergo hip surgery. If you undergo a hip surgery, it's Google search, you will not believe it. They literally have to, your hip, leg, this bone, thigh bone, it goes into the hip socket. They have to cut out, they have to remove that part and put half metal, and it's too much, man. The cartilage gets damaged. Anyway, I'm giving you too many horror stories, but these are facts. So, but as a mass builder, it'll make you thick. When you look at a bodybuilder, he looks very thick, like a fridge. Like when he walks, you can make out he's big. So I was impressed because from a 55 kg young man, it took me years to become thick like that. And yes, I did take steroids after many years. But the problem what this young man did was his technique was not 100% correct. Because he was lifting more than what his body could handle, he was pushing himself, obviously. His knees were wobbling, shaking. Okay, that means the first point of injury will be his knees. The second one is he was lifting purely from the back. His back was lifting. He was not going. See, if you sit and you go up, you have to go like a rocket. It has to be one smooth flow. Okay, I don't know if you can make out. You're sitting down, it has to be up like this. Okay, but when you're lifting with the back, you lift like this. Okay, the back has to be. It's a series of complex movements. Your knees have to be straight or a wide stance. Even the holding the grip, either you take an overhand, underhand, or one hand is like this, one hand is like this. It's called a powerlifter's grip. Too many technical aspects to it, but anyway, focus. I'll just try to keep it simple. So this guy had a powerlifter's grip. One hand was like this. The stronger hand is like this. The weaker hand goes underneath. So it kind of like, you're holding like this, in a very funny way. If you hold like this, it's straight. If you hold this way, it is straight. But if you hold one up, one down, your shoulders, you have to align them. So his knees were wobbling. He was lifting with his back. And I could make out the point of strain but he executed it and he completed it. So he was strong. But I knew for a fact, guaranteed, he was not doing it 100% correct because of years of experience of watching, learning how deadlift is done. And he will get problems later on. To my surprise, when I told him that your lift is not correct, okay, I said you will develop knee problems and lower back problems. He was honest enough to tell me that he already has a little bit of lower back pain and knee pain. He told me his legs are weak. I told him it's obvious because your quads and your hamstrings are not strong. That is why your legs were wobbling. But then he shocked me by telling me that it is already paining him. It's uncomfortable. And he's 26 years old. So just imagine at 26, when your joints are soft, when you're at the peak of your testosterone from your teenage years all the way to maybe 30, it is at the peak. Even 30, 35, it'll keep shooting up to the peak. But once after 35 and 40, it'll start to decline. So normally, generally, bodybuilders and powerlifters start getting joints problems once their testosterone starts to decline. That is what makes us man. That is what grows the muscle and makes the immune system stronger. That is what makes you aggressive. But once that starts to decline, there is wear and tear on the muscle. There is wear and tear on the joints. And there you start feeling the pain. Some of the steroids are designed to even store water in the joints so that you can lift heavy. You can push without the pain. But once that water goes away, the cartilage becomes thin and bone on bone, like where your joints are bone on bone. You can feel it scrape, literally scrape. And that is why people with arthritis, they don't have cartilage. It's bone rubbing against bone. It's terrible. People cannot move because the nerve endings are very sensitive. But this happens to people with arthritis after the age of 35, 40. And almost all bodybuilders, powerlifters who have pushed themselves suffer from this. In fact, the most infamous one is, you can search this, Ronnie Coleman. The biggest, thickest and freakiest bodybuilder. Today he's on a wheelchair. He has had multiple back surgeries, multiple knee surgeries. He's on a wheelchair. You won't believe. But he's still addicted to doing bodybuilding. There are bodybuilders like Dorian Yates. You can Google search. So thick, it is like inhuman. But they don't have any cartilage in the body. Their testosterone is zero. Because that much steroids they used. Anyway, at its peak, they achieved their dreams. But later on, you have to pay the price for it. Because the body is not designed for this, to lift superhuman weights. So I told this young man, I said, your technique is wrong. And when he told me he's 26 and he already has back pain and leg pain, I told him, after you cross 35 or 40, you'll either have a slip disc or you'll have a compressed disc or you'll have arthritis, both the knees and the lower back. And even walking up, like I'm going at an incline, even walking up, you'll be like this. You'll actually be like this. It's terrible. You can't climb up the stairs because your body can't handle your weight. Why do you think I went through the bariatric surgery? Even if you try to lose weight, you'll gain all the weight back because of the addiction to sugar, and your body is craving towards storing fat. And for me, I took steroids, so there was a price to pay. So I told this young man about it, and obviously he's young, so okay. Obviously he's young, so when you're young, you do what you have to. But he was humble. He was a nice lad. He said, "Sir, I know it's bad for me and all that. I'm just doing just to feel strong and be healthy." And I told him, "This is not healthy. You're strong, yes. Healthy, no. Healthy is walking. Healthy is swimming. Healthy is cycling. Healthy is yoga. Healthy is stretching. Bodybuilding is all showing off." And he was humble. He said, "Sorry, sir, nothing like that. I'm learning from you and all." Okay, fine. But after the chat got over, I kind of felt bad. I honestly felt bad. And the reason I felt bad was because here's a young man who's not smoking, not drinking. At least I assume. He's not smoking, not drinking, not doing bad things. He's at least going to the gym. He's at least doing something. I mean, he was not born lifting 200 kilos. He must have done from 10 kilos, 15 kilos. Like when I started, I could not even do 15 kilos. And then slowly, just imagine, I was a skinny 55 kg young man who could not even sit and stand. Later on, I had the power to push 225 kilos and leg press 310. It's dangerous, huh? Don't even think about it. Your leg, instead of going straight, can bend the other way. We have seen horrific accidents. It's very graphic. You'll see their bones come out of their flesh, man. And squat, sitting and standing, your intestines can explode out of your ass. Seriously, your intestines can explode out of your ass. That much pressure is there. Hernia, your internal muscles can get ripped. There are people who have actually had the intestines all come out. That much of pressure is there. So it's very dangerous. But like I was saying, I felt bad that this young man is doing something worthwhile, and here I'm busy criticizing him. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me, man? I kind of felt bad. But at the same time, there was this other side which didn't want to give him the wrong advice or fan his ego. I guess we men, we like to tell, hey, listen, chill, okay? Don't think you're invincible, that kind of thing. We always have that. I'm big and I'm experienced and you're small. But I kind of felt bad because he was a nice lad. But then, you have the other side where you have the responsibility to guide him on what is right. See, when we are young, we do a lot of shit. We have so many girlfriends and we hardly sleep and smoke, drink, do drugs. Some of them, I never did it. Then we go nightclubs and we experiment with life. And when you're young, you think you're invincible. You can get away with a lot of shit. Some of us, I would say my example, don't even take their career seriously, have a massive ego, want to show off, want to do things like, tattoos and all that. Thankfully, this young man has none of it. And we don't realize what we're doing. But as you grow older, life takes a U-turn, and one best example I can give you is Shawn Michaels. He's a WWE superstar. When he was in his 20s and 30s, he was such a good-looking, handsome, cocky young man. But he was not a very tall bodybuilder, wrestler. But he was very cocky, very much a playboy. Today, if you look at him, he's, obviously he's in his 60s, or he has had multiple surgeries on his body because of injuries. His eye is detached, so you'll see him slightly squint. He's not big, he's really small now. And, he's a born-again Christian. So, he's more on the religious side. But, when you see these wrestlers when you're small and they're young and they're invincible, but when you become old and you look at them, and when they are older now, much more older, and they can't get out of bed, they're struggling to even get up from the bed. Imagine, to get up from the bed, it's painful. And after they get up from the bed, they have to sit like 45 minutes to 1 hour, just letting the body wake up, you know. And if the temperature is cold, you get up like this, you know, you actually get up this way. I know it may sound funny, you might be like, ha ha ha, but if we all go through it, now you may not realize. Just look at your parents. You'll see the lower back and the knees, especially knees, no? Very sensitive areas. And if they give you problems, oh goodness, your life is ruined. Even I have had multiple back injuries, and my knees, I have to be very careful, you know. So sometimes even if you have gas in the stomach, you're old, your lower back in pain. Because remember, your stomach is hanging and the back has to support. So, but anyway, he said he's doing resistance training. That's what he claimed, but I know that he's doing to show off and feel strong. But he's a young man, 26, what the hell. But, you know, the side that has seen life, that has paid the price, I wanted to guide him in the right way. But then I was like, sometimes I need to just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. But then there's also that other side, you know, it's my duty to guide him. And then obviously there are a lot of youngsters who take steroids and injections and flex and show, and they claim that they are natural. I had this one student, I will not give you his name, he used to always admire me. He's a tall boy. He's also in his 20s. And he always admired me. He used to come and see me doing weights, and he looked up to me. And later on, I bumped into him in social media, and oh my goodness, he was like 3 times or 4 times the size, massive. From being a skinny, like bone, nothing but bone, he had become huge, and he was ripped and chiseled and dry. You could see like his skin was like tissue, and you know, the grainy look, it's called a grainy look. It's like, it's not smooth, like this is smooth. It's like, it's dry, the skin is thin, and then you can see the muscle fibers, and you can see as if sand was put before taking a photograph. So that's the highest level. So this guy had that look, and the hardness. He didn't look like a pudgy, soft guy. So immediately I sent him a message. Like when I said, what gear are you on? GEAR. Because that's a term for steroids. So immediately he sent me, come on Loy, I thought you wouldn't be a hater. You're also saying that I cheat and I took steroids. I said, my dear kid, I told him, my dear kid, I've gone through all the stuff you have gone through and more. I'm twice your age. This, like they say, don't teach your father how to fuck. I mean, I've been through all this. Stop bullshitting with me. You want to keep it transparent? Keep it transparent. You want to fool me, who has done everything you're doing? It's not going to work. I said, if you want to tell the truth, just say, I prefer not talk about it. And then he was like, okay, fine. Just keep it confidential. I said, fine. Go ahead, open up. So he told me what he was taking, which I'm not going to share. I just told him, be careful. Because, he's going to do what he wants to do. And then, okay, fine, we started, I'm busy with my own stuff. And I remember that was a time when I was just completing my surgery and, getting back into shape. And this young man made the mistake of giving me advice out of all the people. He's half my age, and he was like, Loy, let me give you some advice on... No, he didn't say, let me give you advice. Change your diet and do this, do that. He just gave me a long this thing. Means he wanted to show he knows more. And I understand his intentions were good, but I have my ego, man. Come on. And if you're telling me something I don't know, fine. I know about SARMs. I know about steroids. I know about supplements. I've done more than you have done. Unless there's some new technological breakthrough that nobody knows. So I told him straight off. I said, see, listen, kid. I understand you're at your peak and you feel you're an expert. These pieces of advice, give it to someone who doesn't know. I'm aware of what I'm doing. I don't need your advice and guidance. And I told him, avoid giving unsolicited opinions when someone doesn't ask you. I told him, I'm twice your age. I've done what you are doing now. Don't preach to the choir. Well, obviously he's high in testosterone. He also got pissed off. He got pissed off. So he was like, hey man, don't act so arrogant. And, the defensive talk started. Don't think you know everything. There's a lot to learn. Even I'd learn, blah, blah. When he started all that, I was like, I didn't need to listen to all that shit. For me, it's very simple. Block and delete. I told him, don't need to take shit from you, boy. He's like, hey, you know, what is the problem with you? When he started that, block and delete, fine. Blocked and deleted. He tried adding me through other means. He tried sending an apology. That is after a couple of months. But, I always say, you break the glass once, can't repair it. No? If you break glass, you can't put glue and repair it. So trust and respect is like that. I didn't bother. He has tried multiple times. He has given enough and more apologies, but for me, you go your way, do your own thing. Nothing against you, but he will learn only the day he stops. When age catches him. So the point I'm trying to make through all these examples is, when we are young now, we will do so many things that look like a good idea, or sound like a good idea, or feel like a good idea. And most probably it is, but for that time only. That is a phase. Like this young man was trying to justify, but I'm being careful. I'm not letting my ego come in the way. I'm not doing ego lifting. Well, you're giving justifiable, logical sounding words, but your actions don't match what you're saying. He was doing a single highest lift. Your one lift max. One lift max is always done to show off both to yourself and others, to impress others. You don't do a one lift max. Means your maximum weight for only one attempt. You don't do that to be in good health or to be healthy. You're doing that to show off to others and to yourself. And plus, if you're doing it properly, your body will never wobble. You'll never shake. That is why this CrossFit is, without a doubt, the most unhealthy sport in the world. You just search CrossFit. You'll see the women, they're bigger than even bodybuilders. They're so big. And they do inhuman feats of strength. Like they lift 100 kilos 100 times. That is females. And then they will swim like 5 kilometers without rest. And then they'll do running and sprinting and long distance. See, it's crazy, man. They are all taking steroids, all of them. But they'll, obviously, because sponsorship, Reebok was involved, they'll deny it. But that's the way. Just like this guy, his name is Mike O'Hearn. He keeps claiming he's natural. He's 52. I want you to search his name, Mike O'Hearn. Looks like a god. The thing to admire about this guy is he's 52. He's still in shape, man. Oh. But the thing where I lose respect for him is he swears by his mother's life, by his child's life, by everyone's life, he's natural. At 52, looking so big and shredded. Just bullshit. Anyway, people with knowledge and experience know this is bullshit. You can make out if a guy takes steroids or not. The people who don't take, you can count. Obviously, your question is, so can you look at someone and say whether he takes or doesn't take? It's not, majority of the cases they take, but it's very hard to spot someone natural. It's very hard. It'll take, visually, you can make out most of the time. But if there's someone who's natural and who doesn't take, and he has a world-class physique. To be sure, that's only possible if the person is tested all year round. There are bodybuilding shows where people do this all year round, and I've personally met people who are natural, personally, whom you cannot believe that they're natural, but like I told you, far and few. Hey doggy, still here? He got his vaccination yesterday, so he's feeling a little down. By the way, this is my doggy. His name is Doggy. So he's a boy. Rottweiler, Pitbull mix. You guys were asking. He'll grow up to be a sizable dog. More of a protector. But yeah, I've trained him to make sure that he is not violent. My daughter holds food, so he doesn't even lick until he's told yes. Because I've seen in USA horrific accidents take place. Like a horrific accident takes place, and it's because you have not trained the dog properly. So the dog is like a killer. They have thrown off the face of children and killed people and killed children, also eaten them. You don't train a dog properly, oh goodness, it's like having a king cobra in the house. So yeah, overall, I do not have any spite or hate for that young man. In fact, I respect him. Respect him as a young man who really wants to do something good. But you know, the parental side in me, the side that cares and just like a father figure, I would have told my young one even that. If I had a boy, definitely I wouldn't ask him to take steroids, but yeah, we would have the discussions about all this. Because end of the day, if I don't talk to him about steroids, someone else will. And the last thing I need is my kid taking something secretly. I would rather have my kid openly talk things out and, you know, where I can guide them. Anyway, so this was the story of the young man doing exercise. If he's watching this video, I don't know if he will. I sincerely wish you all the best. I'm not wishing you bad. Just take care of your knees. And he was saying this coach, making sure he does it right. Your coach is a truth. He's not going to. He doesn't have himself invested. There's no skin in the game. He doesn't give a fuck. But you're doing it wrong. It's not like 100% wrong, but you know. So just take care of yourself. That's all I want to tell you. Just take care of yourself, and remember, end of the day, you will pay the price. Nobody else. You will pay the price if you're not careful. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share, and yeah, guys, feel free to comment down below. Let me know if you feel I was wrong anywhere. All right. Good, bad, ugly. Comment. Me signing off. Guys, take care. Ciao. Bye.